Hi everybody, in this video we're going to talk about Flubaroo, which is a free add-on for those of you using Google Forms for assessments for your students. If you're using Google Forms to quiz or assess your students in any way, you want Flubaroo. I use it all the time. It automatically grades those assessment results from the forms for you. So let's take a look at number one, where to find Flubaroo. Number two, how to add it on, how to get it, and number three, how it works. So what I'm going to do is in my Google Drive, open up one of my quizzes, which is a Google form that I made for my students. And here's a quick addition quiz that I created. Now, before I get Flubaroo, I need to access the spreadsheet that contains all of the answers for my students. So in the new versions of Google Forms, I'm going to click Responses at the top. And this green spreadsheet icon appears over here. I'm going to click this to open up the spreadsheet of responses from my Google Forms. So these are the results from my Google form that I have, and I would have to go in and manually grade these if I wanted to average that out. But with Flubaroo, it's automatically going to grade them for me. So step one, let's go and find Flubaroo. Inside your Google Sheet, on the menu bar, we're going to go to Add-ins. And when we go to Add-ins, we're going to select Get Add-ons. It's going to take me to the Chrome store, and in the search box, I'm going to do a search for Flubaroo. Flubaroo is free, and I'm going to click the blue free button to download Flubaroo, and I'm going to allow these. So next, it'll tell me that Flubaroo is now on an add-on. I can exit out of this window, and now would be a good time to pause the video for you to catch up and go ahead and download Flubaroo by going to the add-on menu. So go ahead and pause, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how to use this tool. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the add-ons menu, and I'm going to select Flubaroo because I am going to show you guys how this tool works. So when I go to add-ons in Flubaroo, I'm going to grade this assignment. But before I can grade this assignment, there's something I need to do. I need to go back to my quiz because I'm going to go back to the questions. I'm going to take my own quiz, and I'm going to call my responses the answer key and answer all the questions correctly so Flubaroo knows what to cross-reference for the correct answers. So what I'm going to do is, where it has name, I'm going to type in answer key, and I'm going to answer all the questions correctly so Flubaroo knows these responses. And if I just short answer response where I type in a text box, I'm going to spell correctly the word that I want the students to type. So now I've submitted the answer key. I'm going back to the Google Sheet tab. Here's the answer key submission. Again, I'm going to go to add-ons in Flubaroo, and this time I'm going to grade assignment. A couple things you have to do with Flubaroo. Number one, you have to set up the grading options for each question. Question one's a name, and so I don't want it to grade that question. I just want to say, leave that question alone. If that question identifies a student. Now these questions I want to be graded. If for some reason there's a question I want it to skip grading, I can choose that option. And maybe it's an extended response question I have where students are typing a few sentences or a paragraph. I'm going to grade that by hand. I want all of these, however, on normal grading, so I continue. And then the second step of setting up Flubaroo, which is nice, is you only have to do this one time. I need to choose which submission is the answer key. So when I scroll down, answer key, this is the one that I want. Continue. So now Flubaroo does all the work for us behind the scenes, and it's going to take just a minute or two and grade that assignment for us. I'm done with this, so I'm going to exit. It's done that quickly. Here's the percent score for each one of the students, their total points. You'll notice one is red because that is what's called, Flubaroo's calling this student didn't pass the exam. I really like this. It's averaging a score for each question so I can see if there's any questions the students understand for sure and any questions I might need to revisit in my teaching. And over here it has a summary of the results. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you is a couple advanced features of Flubaroo that I really, really like. Number one, I do not want to have to go to add-ons in Flubaroo and regrade an assignment every time another student completes the form. I want Flubaroo to do that for me automatically. So I'm going to go to add-ons and get Flubaroo again. And I'm going to go to the advanced menu to enable auto grade. So Flubaroo wants to know tell me I'm needing to update my grading and email settings, so I'm going to do that. Just like last time, it's asking me to identify the questions, and I've done that again. And it's going to ask for the answer key again. So I'm continuing. The last step, this is really cool. If you have your students enter their email addresses in their form, or if you have the form collect the email addresses automatically, you can have Flubaroo send an email report and score to each student that takes the test automatically, or the quiz. You would just select the question that contains their email address here. And then if you want to include the answer key for the students, you can include that as well. If you want to type a short message to your students, here are the results of the test you took in math class on Thursday, you can put that here. And when you do that, as soon as the students complete the test, they will get a message in their inbox from Flubaroo. It will not have the other students' scores in your class for them to see. It will only contain their response. Okay. I am not going to select this, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is because I don't want emails going out to these students. So I'm going to press continue. And now auto grade is enabled, so anytime someone completes the form, it's automatically going to update. Now, where in the world do you find this? Notice there's now 2 sheets on this Google Sheet. This is the original sheet with the responses from our Google form. When I ran Flubaroo, it automatically added a second and created a second sheet called Grades. And Grades is going to be where I can find what Flubaroo has done for me. So that's Flubaroo. I know you're really going to like it. I love it. It saves me so much time. Formative assessment is a must, and Flubaroo is a must if you're using Google Forms. Thanks so much, and I will catch you next time.